Please remember, there isn't much time left in the season of giving to make your tax-deductible donation to our sister organization, St. Michael's Media, to help us with our overall efforts here at RealCatholicTV.com. Just click on the donate button. Thank you for your generous help, and have a very merry and blessed Christmas.
Hello everyone, and welcome to The Vortex, where lies and falsehoods are trapped and exposed. I'm Michael Voris. Christmas time is a splendid time, a time where the center of the life of God, who He is at His core, is abundantly evident. And who God is, not what, but who He is mercy, the fullness of the manifestation of the love that God has for His sinful creatures. And all we need to do is simply respond favorably. Really, that's all we need to do. God became man. Think about that. God became man. It's really unfathomable when you start to dwell on it, incomprehensible actually, that the eternal God would stoop from heaven, fly from heaven into the womb of a humble virgin so He could have flesh that would be brutalized and die on a cross. And also we could experience His forgiveness for having treated Him so. This could only make sense in the mind and heart of a God crazy in love with His creatures. And about that forgiveness thing, have you ever stopped to consider what actually is going on there? The dead are being raised, literally, not just in the body, not just yet anyway, that comes later, but right now. Years and years of accumulated sins and animosity towards God, that's what sin is. Resistance to His loving care, rejection of His beauty, decades of that in many cases, simply blotted out as the soul rejuvenates, like Ezekiel's valley of dry bones being rehydrated and reassembled. So what response could such a person give other than to cast themselves totally and completely on God, the source of their life? Seriously, such a person, you or me, forgiven so much, and I mean here the sinner dead for years, trapped in death-dealing sin, who has been forgiven all, a sum of debt against God too great to count. This person has no other ability other than to love God beyond measure. After all, who loves more, the one forgiven little or the one forgiven much? We love God in the proportion of the degree of sins which have been forgiven. Here, the image of St. Paul should be coming to mind, or Augustine, as well as many others. Insights and inspirations are then given to such people because they have flung themselves headlong into the divine life, the source of all inspiration. It's like a child who early in life is terrified of the water, who grows up to be an Olympic gold medalist in swimming. Not only does he conquer his fear, but he conquers it with such an abandon that he far excels all his peers. But have you considered this? The exhilaration of that feeling of being set free, the experience of God's mercy, is something God Himself will never know. Never having been ensnared by sin, He cannot know the experience of having been set free from it. Even the resurrection itself is a freeing from the effect of sin, death. But our blessed Lord never knew the experience of being restored to the Father, never knew it because He was never separated from the Father because of sin. God is so abundantly and overflowingly merciful and loving that He has accorded us humans the grace to experience a supernatural thrill beyond measure, flowing out from within the very life of the Trinity, a thrill that He Himself does not and cannot know and experience as we do. This is what happens to the hard-hearted sinner who has delayed the sacrament of confession for years on end. He does not care that you have sinned as much as He cares that you return. Being somewhat unapproachable in His divine majesty, He hides it beneath the flesh of a little baby, wrapped in swaddling clothes, laying in a feeding trough. This is the story of forgiveness, the epic of mercy, written in ever so small lettering on that first lonely Christmas 2 millennia ago. The gift that our Lord wants to give this Christmas is the one that He always wants to give. And you might call it the gift that keeps on giving. God love you. I'm Michael Voris.
how about getting real this Christmas? Do you know where you're going? A RealCatholicTV.com subscription is the perfect gift. It's also your home for hundreds of hours of programming as a premium member. And we have dozens of programs on DVD that make great Christmas gifts for your family, friends, and yourself. So this Christmas, come home to the Catholic Church and make RealCatholicTV.com your homepage. Merry Christmas from Real Catholic TV.